Steve-O's just setting up the seahorse there, and I'm going to get my surf caster ready. Now the rig I'm going to start with is just a dropper rig that I've put together. It's about 1 meter long. I'm going to run a 3-ounce breakaway, and what I've done is I've chucked on a little ball float and little bead there, 7-bar hook, then up to the swivel. Going to run braid basically off the beach. There's no snags or anything like that, so just yeah, braid, get a little bit further out. But hopefully we've got a few fish turning up in the afternoon, and more so for me on the surf cast. I quite like obviously surf casting. It's a beautiful beach, nobody here, all by ourselves. Now before you go out there and get wet up to your waist or your chest, best thing to do, just cast from sort of your knee deep, do all that, get all wet, and then you find out the fish is right there, just in the drop off there. It's dead low tide, so it drops away quite quickly, and there's no use getting all wet, and the fish are in close, so don't get too wet on your first couple of casts. You're not getting any bites, then get wet so you're getting a little bit further out. I'm basically up to my knees. Just give it a good flick. Hold your rod out once you cast to where the sinker was going to, and that allows the line to go through the guides a lot better. If you're sort of holding it up after you've cast, it's having to go through the guides. You don't get as far on your cast. So cast out, hold the rod straight out so the line's just going straight through the guides really well. And I've got the breakaway sinker on there, so I can pull up a little bit tight, letting line out as I'm coming back. If you don't let the line out as you're coming back, your breakaway will give way. So you always let line out to where you're coming back to. And that's a great thing with these breakaways. You can put a bit of tension on the line. So that went out at about sort of 70-80 meters. We've got the breakers breaking right on the lip there as it sort of drops away. It's quite bright, and it's a beautiful clean beach. So not too sure if the fish are going to be in here yet. Obviously better in the late afternoon as the sun's going down, and it's actually a good tide. Tide's coming in. I was just up there helping Steve-O baiting up the kontiki. Looks back and the rod was buckled over. And that's when those mutsus or recurve hooks come in handy. I actually don't have one of those on because I was hoping to hold the rod and obviously strike when the fish bit, but I'll just see what happens on this bait. I'll leave it, get back there, help Steve-O get the kontiki out, put a fresh bait on, and I'll actually hold the rod in case I get a strike. It was a real nice strike, not sure what it was. Looks snapperish, but you just never know. Get some nice trevally off the beach here. Obviously KIWI. Just had another little tap. Just a real small tap, that one. And the good thing to do when you're getting bites, take the rod out of the rod holder and get ready for the bite, because you don't want it sitting in the rod holder and you get another bite and you miss it again. Got a bit of mullet on there, so sometimes the skin will stay on. Fish will still smell the skin and come in and have another go. So I'm hooked up. Steve-O's winding in the kontiki, and just as I went over to help him, as things do when you're fishing, away the rod goes. It's just a KIWI there, which is all good. Means fresh bait for not only the Kontiki, but for me as well, surf casting. There you go. Nice big KIWI. So yep, bit of fresh bait for our second set on the Kontiki, and a bit of fresh bait for my surf casting. What we're going to do is tomorrow morning, going to get up at about 4:30, head over for a surf cast over in the harbour there. Got a nice hole over there in the dead low tide, which is tomorrow morning, and we'll use some of this KIWI as well, maybe if we've got any left. But yeah, let's get them dispatched. Even though it's just a KIWI, you want to still dispatch them as soon as possible. Hooked up again. Woo-hoo-hoo. Feels a little bit different. Maybe a trevally. It's got some hurt to it. Feels like a big trevally. It's got a big tail on it. Whatever it is. Big trevally, I think, yeah. Oh, look at it! Look at it, Steve-O! Look at the size of it! It's a monster! Steve-O! It's a monster!